gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So, I gained 10 pounds so quick. I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. Been good.
Yeah.
We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derek.
I heard it's going more market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe, ring the bell, and tell a friend to tell a friend. And make a comment. The good, the bad, and the ugly, we always get back to you. Welcome back. I've seen family in 2 weeks. How's everybody doing, man? What's up with y'all?
What's up?
We're back.
Gotta take a little break. When black people break, we break.
We break.
So, we are back, man. So, Rod, what's up, man? What's good with you, man? Talk to me, man. Tell people what's going on for the last few weeks.
Nah, everything's good. I'm just glad to be back, man. I miss the audience. I miss you guys. You know, my wife was telling me, she says, you act funny when you don't do the show. I said, because I miss the show. You know, I love these guys. I love doing what we do, you know. But everything's good. We had a great Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? I went to my brother-in-law's for Thanksgiving. They had tons of food, great event. They played some cards, you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife went to Earth, Wind & Fire concert. Totally dope. Nice. Totally dope. They opened up a new Hard Rock hotel in Atlantic City. They remodeled the old Taj Mahal.
Okay.
And they got a concert arena inside. It's definitely dope. So if there's ever some shows there, I'm probably going to see Alicia Keys there too as well.
Is Mint Condition gonna be there next? They're saying that.
I didn't see them. I knew you was going to go to Mint
Condition. I knew you was going to go to Mint Condition. I can't help you, brother.
Kelvin, I didn't see them on the calendar. I'm waiting to see if they're going to pop up. And then I'm going to call Derik and Norette and let them know.
Only the classic people showing up.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, at the Earth, Wind & Fire concert, there was pimps there. Well, I did see some pimps there with glass canes, but nobody had any fish tank shoes. But I did.
Motherfucker said glass canes and shit.
Yeah, it's hard to get the fish shoes today.
I'm not making up. There was a guy there with a glass cane. The cane was clear. He had on pink and white, and he definitely was a pimp. He was a Himalayas. Yeah, he was a very old pimp, but he was a pimp.
Oh, man, hilarious.
What's up, D? What's going on, Damien?
Come on, man. Talk to that brother in a minute.
What's up, Damien?
What's up, brother?
Good. Thank you. Yeah, but me and my wife had a romantic dinner. I try to keep the kids and my wife grounded. So I want you guys to try to guess where this romantic dinner was at.
Jersey. Let me see.
It wasn't in Jersey. This was prior to the concert. It was in Long Island. You're not going to probably guess. Anyhow, we went to White Castle.
Yes, son.
We went to White Castle.
No, Rod.
I haven't been to White Castle in years. I stopped eating fast food, but I wanted to take it back. Me and my wife went in there. We sat down at a booth.
Yeah, y'all sat in the motherfucker.
We sat in it. We took it back. We took it back, D. We took it back. So we sat in there. We had a couple of burgers. And she said, "This is the nicest White Castle I ever been in." Because, my wife she used to work in Harlem and whatnot. So she's used to people.
That's just horrible. Son.
Yeah, it's crazy up in there.
That should be called White Dungeon.
I remember that one. Where's that at? On like Linux or something? I remember that one.
It was on the 125th and Linux. Yeah. Linux, yeah.
But we had a good sit down, and I said, "Yo, I got to keep you grounded, baby. I can't keep just taking you to fancy places."
And how was it, Ron? How was the food? How was that White Castle cuisine?
I'll be honest with you, it was actually superb. It wasn't as good as the thighs from Wingstop, but it brought back a lot of memories. We won't be going back again, but it brought back memories.
Now, how was the bedroom fragrance? Like later on that night, how was the bedroom?
That's
the shocker is that it didn't affect me that way.
Wow.
You know why? Because I heard this. I don't know if it's true. It's a street rumor. I heard that it was the dehydrated onions that used to make you have that reaction.
That is the truth.
But they changed the onions, so maybe I didn't have a negative reaction. I really didn't. We was expecting to have a negative reaction, but we did not.
That's good. That's good.
See? Now there's somebody that appreciates what we did. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll tell my sister Monique. She a travel agent, man. Put in the chat.
That's funny.
Monique supports us. So Monique, put in the chat that your website and see if we could, so people can see it, man. Shout out to Monique.
But I did tell my wife I'm going to take her back, and she said, "No, you're not."
One time's a charm, right?
He said, "That's it. One time. One time ground is enough."
Hey, listen. Next day, this church's chicken. All that batter.
Yeah. Well, how's things with you, Derik? How's everything?
Man, that just really uplifted me, brother. That was hilarious. I've been going through a few things, man. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to bring us down too tough, man. But my parents are getting a little older, and I've been going through a few things with them. With health insurance, medical insurance. Going through things with them with power. The gas. I forgot to mention to you guys before, they lost power in the house. Gas. It wound up on the news and the whole nine. And it really got me thinking. Just through all the hoops we had to go through, we talk about racism a lot in this world, and how it hinders us. But there's an ageism thing that's happening, and we don't really pay too much. We should pay more attention to that, because no matter what you are, if you're white, black, whatever, Chinese, Martian, whatever, in the best case scenario, if all things go according to plan, you're going to get old, and you're going to age. And there's a whole heap of obstacles that are just sitting there waiting on you just to jump you. You know what I mean? So, just things from, how an insurance company can, just how they communicate with the house. How can this mail something, like they just send some snail mail? No one checks. I mean, who checks their mail? Like, really, who really checks mail? Like, everything's more online right now, But just they can send you a letter or something. They can do any little thing to kind of, find a way to just kick you off of insurance or something like that. So you wind up losing your insurance. And if you're older and you don't have a younger person in your life, you know what I mean, to kind of help you navigate some of that stuff, they really, can really mess you up, So luckily my folks, my mother specifically, she had me and she had my siblings. So, she just, she was covered, you know what I mean? But even with all of us working in concert, essentially for I would say, really, it's been going on for about a month now. We just were able to get her situated, you know what I mean? And you're talking about someone who's older, she's 80 years old, she's got medication, they need to be purchased and everything. So I don't want to get too deep into it all, but I'm really starting to look at championing and bringing some awareness to ageism. That's kind of what came out of the thing for me. How the system, systematic, it's literally, you can see it. We talk about systematic racism. I definitely look right at systemic ageism. Right. So it's a thing. Yeah, she says, I'm finding the elderly went from hiding illness to now hiding about life insurance. Okay. Yes. I mean, and these are things that I have to kind of, we all have parents, and I've become, the not necessarily the complete caregiver, but it's moving in that direction, and I can definitely see the writing on the wall. So yeah, I mean, I'm wondering I think right now we have to, at the age we are right now, we kind of have to start setting ourselves up for that kind of thing, for that kind of fight for later, So I'm trying to do my part to make it easier on other people. But anyway, that's it, man. But the highlight of my week is always coming here with you brothers. You know what I mean? It's always uplifts my spirits. I'm glad to see everybody here in great health. And I can't wait to hear what everybody's doing and what we've been up to, and share some other experiences and some ideas. So love y'all, brothers, and thank you everybody for being here with us.
All right, we love you,
man. What's going on with you, man?
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I'm getting out of this though, man. I don't want to bring us down too much. Kelvin, what's up with you, brother?
Well, I'm taking us down too, brother. I'm taking us down too. I'm gonna just say this, man. First of all, it's good to be back with the crew. I missed the show. I missed the show, and we got the best audience ever. Really appreciative of all the people that support the show. But I have to tell you something. December has started off really, really tough, man. I have a lot of people that have lost loved ones. And, they used to always say this is the happiest time of the year. It's tough. It's tough for a lot of people. A lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are despondent, and you lose relatives and things like that around the holidays. So it's really, really tough. And I want to say this to people in general, our audience, or anybody that can hear it. Don't feel pressured to go crazy with buying everything and all this stuff. I mean, it's really... For some reason this year, I've just been really, really conscious of Thanksgiving couldn't end fast enough for retailers to get out there, man. I'm talking about, and I mean the music in Walgreens and stuff, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and everything. I mean, it's too blatant. It's too, overt. It's just like, just hitting you in the head. And I'm telling you, I raised my nieces and nephew. I don't feel compelled. If you don't have like little kids that gotta get the latest thing, I don't really even care. I mean, let's take it back to the old school where everybody make each other some gifts. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's great. Right. It's just crazy out there, man. The way just everything is just so exploited today. And I've had so many people lose people that's important to them. And so what I want to say is this. Really just enjoy our families, enjoy the people that are in our lives. Also, I know a couple of people that were let go unceremoniously right before the holidays from working, man, and that's got to be brutal. That's tough as well. So, let's just be really, really upbeat and prayerful for people and really think about the most important things in life. You know what I mean? And the most important things in life is obviously who you love, who you're with, and the family that's around you, friends. So welcome back, guys, and thank you so much. But I got to hear from the orchestrator, the devastator, the point guard, the Nick connoisseur, my man D. What's going on, D? Talk to me.
Don't mention the Knicks. Knicks is getting blown out right now. So. But now my weeks were good, man. I went down to San Francisco, man. Went out to a wedding out there, man. It was cool. I got to meet a cousin through Ancestry. Did I mention this? I met a cousin through Ancestry, man, that popped up on my timeline. That was a first cousin. So one of my fucking uncles, is out here lying about his side chick, and he got a kid with that motherfucking head.
Wait, first of all, how's Uncle Sambo doing?
Sambo died, man.
Sambo died.
God damn, son. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Sambo.
Kelvin.
God damn, man. You're in the upper room.
How's he doing? That's what he just said. How's he doing? How is Uncle Sambo doing?
Well, I'll bring it back to the church. Yeah,
there you go. Is this live?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I'm going to do, Kelvin? I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you real quick before we go back to D. I know I'm going to go back to something that you said about the Christmas holiday because I really feel I need to save you. But Black Friday came super freaking early. That shit was Black Monday. It was Black Tuesday. It was Black Thursday. Every day was black. It's crazy. I saw Christmas trees in October. At the beginning of November, the mall was already decorated in the beginning of November. Like the scam they're doing to get Christmas money in early is crazy now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to hear it.
I think, and people, the crazy thing also, just before I finish up, the mall traffic is insane. I had to go to Green Acres. I went to Green Acres. I went to Green Acres.
It's a miracle you made it to the show.
Sniper fire, brother.
I can go. Listen, I wasn't went to Green Acres for some. I wound up going there for some goddamn gum. I'm not gonna mention the person's name that made me go there for some goddamn Five Below gum, and I wound up in a whole bunch of traffic. Not gonna mention the name.
Wow.
But y'all know. But anyhow, the traffic amount is insane. I think people from 2020 is going to be outside and feel normal, do the whole shopping thing again. And a lot of stuff you can't find online. So some of these retail stores have it, and people in line like crazy for this stuff. I'm like, it's insane. But save your goddamn money. Get rid of the damn lights. I mean, motherfuckers be broke in January from all this shopping, credit cards out of control, light bill out of control, and they gonna take their taxes. What is that?
She says, "Hey, brothers."
Apologize. San Francisco had me out there, man. Yeah, man. So
we're gonna call a background bonnet.
Yeah, so man, I met my cousin, man, and we kicking it, man. And then I'm looking, I'm like, yo, you look, and here goes some family secrets gonna have to come out. Because I think my father's god brother was really my father's brother that my grandfather on my father's side had a whole bunch of ladies he had friends, little extra friends. And I'm like, this dude was my first cousin and he lived in Harlem. And my godfather lived up the block over on 142nd in Rockaway. So it's like I think this, and he had kids. I think this is, and his one of his sons is the kid in Blackstreet, and I think this kid looked like the kid in Blackstreet.
She said you like to take your hands, your left in your hands going to Green Acres.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You out there dodging sniper fire, man.
And I got a bad knee. I can't run.
Yo.
The worst Red Lobsters on the East Coast, right there, though, brother. Let me tell you.
Yo,
absolute worst Red Lobsters in the entire East Coast is right there.
Derek, you nailed it right there. The thing is, they got tables packed in there where you sitting at a table, other people sitting at the table, and the tables are touching. It's crazy. They just jam everybody in that Red Lobster. You can pick something off somebody's plate next to you that you don't even know. That's how close it is.
Oh man, yo, that's the only Red Lobster I know that sells seahorses.
Yo, I think they got grits and shrimp in there too.
Get the fuck out of here.
I think they do. I think
that shit got cream of wheat and grit.
Oh man,
I know the man. I know the manager there. She just over us.
Oh my god, man, that's the.
I'm not gonna mention
That's right. That's the worst Red Lobster I ever been in. It's just horrible.
It's getting better. My friend took over now. It's getting better. My friend.
Okay, good luck. I'll believe it when I see it.
See, you know what it is. Everybody from Brooklyn goes to Green Acres. Yeah. Everybody from Valley Stream goes to Roosevelt Field.
Roosevelt Field, correct.
And then me, I'm going to Walt Whitman now.
Yeah.
He's gonna drive the extra 40 minutes.
Yo, I will. I go where the 5 and the 85 don't go, brother. I tell you that all the time. That's it.
I ain't mad at you on that shit. Cause that 5 going to East New York, right? I ain't mad at you on that one, man.
Oh man.
But nah, my time was good, man. Thanksgiving, I went down to Maryland, see my family, man. And my family's so southern. We shipped up some chopped barbecue from North Carolina, bro.
Oh man,
they are country as a motherfucker, but they country with money now. So it was cool. We had a good time, man. We had a good time, man. So, but yeah, man, I got to meet my cousin, good dude, and I can't wait to see where else was this family tree thing goes, man. But it's gonna be some secrets gonna have to come out, bro.
Yeah. Every family's got some secrets.
Oh yeah, everybody. And I'm about to start tonight at midnight. I'm starting my juice cleanse for 4 days, trying to recharge, get my organs and everything together. So I'm gonna go try to see if I could go. I got at least enough juice here for 4 days, fresh made juice for 4 days. I'm gonna see how it goes for 4 days.
Good luck.
Yeah, man.
Good luck, G. Because the first week is hard.
Yeah. And I got my son here, so it's gonna be hard, bro. I'm figuring it out.
First week is very hard.
I'm gonna try that, man, one day, but I'm gonna have to take off work or something, bro. I'm just I'm serious, man. Just concentrate or something, brother. That's
that's a good point. Make sure you do a vacation to do it, because then at work you get stressed out and
it affects your mood. It affects your mood. It makes you irritable. When you're not eating and you don't get sugars and stuff that you used to be addicted to, it's gonna affect your mood.
Yeah, so we'll see how it go, man. Man. But Kelvin, man, what's up, man? Anything foolish since the time we saw you?
All right.
I ain't talked to you in a minute, bro.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is my holiday. This is that foolishness. Okay, this is what it is. And I want everybody out there who's in the Christmas spirit, right? The commercialized Christmas spirit. You have to make a decision, okay? If you are going to put up holiday gifts and ornaments or lights or any type of like regalia that you're gonna do for the holidays, right? Commit to actually doing it, spending the money, going out, decorating the house the right way. But those things where you do this projection with the green and the red projection light is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. You're not fooling nobody. It is cheap.
Yeah.
It looks cheap. You didn't want to go and get the regular bulbs and stuff like that. The best looks absolutely ridiculous. Okay. And then the thing that make it worse for my neighbors, stop letting it get on my house too. Okay. It don't match what my house look like. Aim it back to your house. Okay. It's all in the trees. It's all on the light pole. In other words, target an area for it, okay? Because this is some foolishness, all right? Look, I'm never doing it. I am never doing it because I don't know Con Ed like that. So I am never putting stuff out there. You're gonna get a reef.
There you go, sweetie. There you go, baby.
You know
there we go. Projection lights in a jam.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. D. Derek, you can't be kidding me, Derek. Derek lives in a mansion, okay? That's the first thing, all right? Everybody don't know that, all right? I was in Derek's house for 3 weeks and he know it, all right? So Derek is in a mansion. I know y'all don't have that, Derek. I know y'all don't have that.
Yo, a lot of the viewers have it. It looks like a lot of the viewers.
Yeah, Monique said it's gonna tell you.
Everybody, and I want to shout out to Hot 97 and Khaled. Congratulations. You played
Yo, the only thing that bothers me about people putting Christmas lights on their house is when they put Christmas lights on their house and a lot of the lights are out. That's the shit that looks funny to me.
Yeah.
Like you need to change a couple of bulbs on that line. I mean, you got a couple of bulbs out, dude. You got to change them. You know.
Projection lights don't have.
He said projection lights. You ain't gotta do that, right? Bring it out, stick it in the ground, plug it in, lit the whole house up.
Yo, and everybody be careful because a Christmas tree in Manhattan just caught on fire the other day. And I mean,
are you serious? Y'all serious about that? As a joke?
No, not the main one, not the 30 Rock one, but one of the ones in the building, one of the decorative ones just went up yesterday. Because people don't know these trees, especially when you have the real trees, and they get a little dried out. It's a wrap. That's nothing to play with. Yeah, that's nothing to play with.
Yo, how many white Santas y'all seen in black people's yard?
There you go, baby.
Listen, my neighbor turned Indian. I don't see no Santa. I see an elephant.
Yo,
the motherfucker shit with some 8 arms and shit. I don't know what the fuck happened.
There you go. You got a point there.
D, I'm glad Rodney asked that. D, you'd be very, very proud. I found a picture the other day of myself, my sister, and my brother when we were kids. That's what I should have done. I should have had a projection Red Bull machine in the yard.
No, they still would have stolen it.
They still would have stolen it.
Yeah. Would have stolen the image.
Yeah,
yo, but you know what's crazy, D? So I found a picture of myself, my sister, and my brother when we was little, but I only had a picture with the black Santa Claus. Man, I forgot. My mother told me when they used to take me to the white Santa Claus, I would cry, so I wouldn't sit in the picture. So I said, D would be very, very proud.
That's right.
It's my Black History moment. I was scared of the white Santa.
That's right. God damn it. Make Santa look like us, goddamn. Even though he's fake, goddamn, he gotta look like us.
Yeah, my neighbor has a couple of Santa Clauses in his yard, and he's painted every one of their faces black. I'll bet you. Every one of the Santa's faces painted black.
I ain't mad at him, man.
No, I told him, I said, I love it. I think it's great, you know.
Yeah, my neighbor got Santa Sing.
Santa Sing. Oh,
Santa.
Wow.
He's Indian now, so it's all good. That's why I'm happy. People put him in their own image, man. I'm happy for that shit.
Yeah.
At least I ain't say Santa Punjabi.
Yeah.
Santa Sing, you know
it's coming. Here comes the scroll.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
We can't go
to the scroll. Before we get,
he was about to move on to it.
I'm moving on.
We do. We have black nutcrackers and angels in the crib.
I'm saying, man.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Talking about. Mm-hmm. And the nutcrackers they have, they sell also at 125th in Lenox. The drinks.
I thought they was talking about the drinks.
Oh, shit. Let me go. We behind schedule like a motherfucker right now. I'm about to get on that.
We out of practice. That's why.
I know we out of practice. Man. I wasn't even looking at the clock, man. My bad, y'all. My bad on that one. All right. Oh man, that's right. Since we can see each other, man, it was a versus that went down between Bone Thugs and Harmony, 3-6 Mafia.
Oh man, I
had no dog in this fight. I had no cares of this fight. I mean, this versus. But I heard some real native stuff jumped off. They had a fight. Busy Bone got into it with what's the guy name? I don't even know their names, bro. To be honest with you, man. With one of the guys from 3-6 Mafia. It wasn't Crunchy Black. It was the other dude.
Crunchy Black.
Remember Crunchy Black?
No, I tell you one thing. If we go back to that picture, they had caution tape up there. What the fuck was that?
Yep.
First of all, you know what's surprising? That groups named Bone Thugs and Harmony in 3-6 Mafia can't have a peaceful showing. That's the thing that throws you off right there. That's surprising in itself. And then the other thing is you have to ask yourself really just what took so long. It's called versus. Some people take that serious, but I'll just say this. If you are north of 50 years old, just look at yourself in the mirror. Okay. If you still getting prompted to fight, just ask yourself why. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get it out of your system in those teen years.
40 years old. 35.
Hell yeah.
They're not, I don't think they're 50 yet. I don't think they're 50.
I think they're younger than us. I think they're
younger. They are younger than us.
Yeah, younger than us.
Okay, if you south of 50.
Maybe you got a point there, Kelvin. Maybe they got caught up in the name and they thought it was supposed to be a fight.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Versus,
And
I feel bad because their music doesn't resonate with me, and that's why people can't stand New Yorkers, because we just
I think it might be they're too young for the verses, brother. I can't think. What was the youngest verses that's happened, like in terms of artists or whatever?
No, they ain't too young. They had T.I. They had T.I. Not T.I. They had Nelly and Ludacris go, and they had a few. They had a lot of.
They had DMX and Snoop go, but they're in their 50s.
They're older though. They're older.
Yeah. But they're in their 50s. They're like our age.
I guess my point being, like,
they had Brandy and Maya. They had Brandy and Maya. They had some young ones.
Okay.
They just had Bow Wow and what's the other motherfucker?
They had Gucci Man and Young Jeezy.
Yeah. So
they're younger than us. Yeah.
I think it was like a regional, not regional, but it's like the Midwest versus the South kind of thing. But it was 3 6 came in peace and took it a joke. I think Busy Bone kind of went off and thought it was some real crazy shit. He lit off on his meds. And he went off a little crazy. He apologized and stuff like that.
Yeah, he did apologize. He said they came back and he brought it back together. But
you look at Bone Thugs, they sold over 10 million copies, and 3 6 Mafia sold more than them. So 3 6 Mafia, I can resonate with their music a little bit more, a little turned up stuff. I just never was a Bone Thugs and Harmony. Never like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Only thing I like when they came on with Biggie, I only like Biggie verse, and after that I turned it off. Yeah. And I like the Miss My Uncle Charles part.
But I just think on the serious side, I mean, this does so much to restart your catalog and introduce you to fans that may not have known, especially younger people. Yeah. It's become the biggest showcase in music, especially in that culture. So I mean, you don't want to take a night like that and have anything else. The only headline should be displaying and celebrating the music, not this, because the only thing that got really clicks was the fight for people that wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that was a good look, but I'm glad they resolved it. I'm glad they got through it and stuff like that. But not every versus is going to draw us. Like some things just don't hold your interest. Something, I don't want to see it just because it's a versus. There's something that usually resonates with the performers with me. And this one really did.
Yeah.
It definitely was a Black Alpha versus. Let's put it like that.
It was, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's why Swiss Beats was tight.
I would imagine he would be. I would be angry too.
And Bone Thugs, the one guy tried to demand a certain amount of money. He said, "Bro, y'all ain't been on tour in 23 years."
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to put some paper in your pocket.
Oh, I see what's going on right now. Y'all been waiting for it since we've been here 2 weeks. We are never gonna get anywhere as a people. I resisted as long as I can. I made it 29 minutes, but y'all,
We're just saying that. Those that begin anywhere as a people. Juicy. What's his name? Juicy or Jesse?
Jesse. Don't do that.
It's actually Jussie.
Jussie takes the stand. That's all sexual relations with. I don't know the African brother name. How you play it? Dario brothers.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, the African brothers, them motherfuckers over there saying they slept with one of them dudes. He's trying to snitch like 6'9".
Wait, hold on a second. I hear you right. What did you say a second ago?
What, the African dude?
What? Yeah, what about them?
He said he slept with one of them. He slept with the biggest one, the tallest one. Yeah.
Well, Sam,
slept with him?
Sam,
I swear to God, look it up.
He's not lying. He had a relationship with one of the. He had it. No, it said he had an encounter.
Yeah.
With
an entanglement.
Alleged. I want to say alleged before somebody comes.
Okay.
Do me a favor. One of the alleged attackers that he's allegedly staged this attack with, he had an encounter with one of them in a bathhouse.
I ain't know this that bad.
Do me a favor. Give me the scroll for what I'm thinking.
No, we can't do that. Can't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Jamie. Don't do that.
And also,
I know what he's thinking.
I know. And also, Juicy is trying to throw Don Lemon under the bus.
Jussie.
Smollett, Mr. Smollett, try to throw Don Lemon under the bus.
Mr. Smollett.
Yeah.
What you say about Don Lemon?
He said Don Lemon texted him about, yo, this looking kind of shady. Cops coming after you, make me checking and investigating you or some shit like that.
Yo, he telling him.
Oh, he better watch it. He better ask Chris Cuomo.
I think
the only thing Don Lemon has on the side, he had the letter people on his side.
Yeah.
Different ball game when you have the letter people support.
The thing is, Don Lemon tried to help him out, and I think they pulled up the text message that Don Lemon had sent him. But Don Lemon is about to get some smoke himself right now. He's got some allegations coming up soon too.
What'd he do?
I don't want to say because it's allegedly.
Oh man!
I just want to take a moment.
That bathhouse stuff, is it?
No, I listen.
Oh, okay.
D, I know you're going to try to pull it out of me. It's not going to work. I know you're not going to use me, D. You're not. I know you're too long. You're not going to use me.
I was coming.
Nah, but wait till it comes out, and then we'll talk on the show about it.
I'm gonna go back to that shit though tonight.
I want to say too.
I'm gonna see. I said, Rob, I forgot what you was about to say.
No, he's got some allegations. Don Lemon supposedly got some allegations about him. We're just waiting to see if it's true or not, and if there's going to come up anything that's going to come of it. And then when it comes out, then we'll talk about it on the show.
They better act like Fox and say fuck that and keep everybody.
No, they're not gonna do that. They got rid of Chris Cuomo. That was big.
Know. And he got off. They got off satellite radio too. They took him off satellite.
Yeah,
him and his brother should get a podcast. The Cuomo.
They probably will.
Yo, we don't care. Whatever.
That's
and call the podcast the Touchy Feely Brothers.
Well, let me just say this. I'm going to say right now, a little public service announcement. I want to say to all the women out there, first of all, there's nothing comparable to you. All right. And there's no substitute. You are still number one. I know there's only five dudes that's interested in y'all these days. I'm one of them. So I just want to tell you something. There's nothing like women. Thank God for you. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Yeah.
Often imitated.
It's interesting to see how this trial is going to come out and if they're going to find him guilty or not guilty. But I mean, he's got to.
Dang, I forgot about that.
Wow.
I forgot about that.
See, I wasn't going
Derek,
to
for people that's listening on radio, you got to read that.
Monique, you got to say allegedly.
Grabbed the man's private and smelled it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
You're smelling crotches, like crotch juice, like you just. What you doing?
You said crotch juice.
Yeah.
You better watch out that crotch juice. I'll tell you.
Man, this is getting. Man, this show getting a little wild. Let's move
on.
I think,
this is crazy.
We're talking about some more weirdo shit. Will Smith spoke with an intimacy coach about wanting a harem of girlfriends, including Halle Berry and Missy Copeland. Sorry, Copeland. I'm tired of Will Smith, so y'all go ahead. I'm just leave this shit.
Yeah, man. I think we all kind of tired of this brother, man. I'm serious.
Like, it's too much. It's too much now. It's too much.
We to that point now, man. It's like
it's too much now.
You know. It's almost like it's like watching a sitcom or something, and every episode is the same exact theme. You know what I mean? Or watching. There you go. Allegedly, Monique. That's right. Oh, I'm like watching Charlie Brown, and Lucy pull the football, from like every single day. Yeah. So it's like, it's getting too much, man.
Yeah, it's too much now. I think he's overexposed. I always say I met him, and I think one of the nicest entertainers when it comes to his fans, real respectful, real personable. At this point, however, though, I just think, and I think this goes for anybody, what goes on with you and your spouse, I think should be private. I really do. That's why I'm not big on the reality show stuff and all that stuff like that. I don't want to see. In other words, to me, you have one obligation when you're in entertainment. That's to entertain in the selected field of your talent or your choice. That's what it is to me. But I think we're now at this place where everybody wants to know everything about these people. There's an obsession. And I think he's handling this. I know he was promoting his book, but I just think it's too much, man. I don't want to know about it. I really don't want to know about all the, because it sounds ridiculous. And I think he's been making himself look worse.
He looks weak, man.
It's making him look weak. It's opening up his bedroom life, his personal life, his marriage. Well, it's not just him doing it. Jada's doing it too. On the red table, she came out with some things that she shouldn't have said about him and what she's done or whatever. So I don't know what their angle is with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how they're going to benefit from it. I don't know. I mean, like you guys just said, I don't really want to hear it. I don't find it entertaining at all.
Me either. To do something like this to promote your it seems like every time we have something coming out, it's something to bring attention to them. Well, we're gonna watch. If you got a good movie, we're gonna watch it. King Richard, we're gonna watch it. Whatever you got coming out, we're gonna watch it. The reunion with Fresh Prince of Bel, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah,
that's it. It's good shit, but don't have to do all this other extra shit. We don't need all of that.
They're going to separate, man. I think that's what I think we could obviously. I think it's obvious they're eventually going to separate, man. You know.
Well, if they're going to do that, hurry up and get it over with. I mean, you know.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to hear all the other stuff.
Just but I think the money's in dragging it out, though. You know what I mean? You know how we are now. You know, it's almost like social media and all of that is it's almost the economy is oversharing now. You know.
And you know what? I got to say this, and I'm thankful for this. When I was a kid or just growing up, I never remember my parents like embarrassing me. Like I don't ever remember just being ashamed of my parents. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they were human. They had flaws like everybody else, but I never, we were fortunate that your parents weren't like, to me, if I was their kids, man, to hear all this stuff that your mother allegedly slept with one of your friends and all that's just not a good look, brother. It's just not. It's too much.
Yeah.
Kelvin, you got a great point there. Like I remember growing up and I remember my grandmother saying, "Don't y'all embarrass me." And the thing is, my grandmother always say, "We keep our business in here."
Right. Don't put your business in the street.
Don't put your business in the street because people will exploit that and they will talk about you. So the thing is, we grew up in different areas where you didn't talk about your family business and what happened in the house stayed in the house. You know,
but now it's currency, though. You know what I mean? Now it's currency.
Right. It's content to them.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's too much. So Will, if you're listening, please do everybody a favor. Just to go on vacation or something like that. Take a minute.
Yeah. All right, brothers and sisters.
Problem with an open marriage.
We got to go to our first commercial break for tonight. We'll be back in 2 and 2, like Chuck. What was it? Hillary, whatever.
Willery.
Yeah, that Willery. That's it. Commercial break. Thanks, Sammy Jamie.
Orchard Blue Counseling Services, or known as OBS, is a private mental health practice based in Southeast Queens, New York. OBS's founder and holistic psychotherapist, Serene Prince, is a Queens native with Caribbean roots. Serene is committed to providing culturally competent holistic psychotherapy to diverse communities while curating a safe healing space for Black and Brown people with compassion and awareness of their total being. As experts in children and teens, we have curated a mental health and wellness community where children are heard, guided in developing a healthy self-esteem, supported in strengthening their inherited resilience, and learn skills to manage their emotions to develop positive relationships with parents, adults, and their peers. Orchard Blue Counseling Services is designed to help children and adults discover their inner healer as we take the journey with our clients to work towards self-acceptance, self-love, and resilience to manage life's uncertainties and embrace its wonders. Our private practice extends to providing consultant services for personal life transitions and business development, parenting guidance and support, and clinical supervision for mental health students and therapists. And be sure to book our founder, Serene Prince, as your next holistic speaker, offering your audience a life-changing experience. Now that you have taken the first step to learning about us, we invite you to walk towards a healing and progressive life with Orchard Blue Counseling Services. Contact us for your free consultation where applicable. Email or call us at info@orchardbluecounseling.com or area code 516-200-1174. You can also connect with us at our website and social media pages, orchardbluecounseling.com, or on Instagram at orchardblue_counseling SBCS, or Facebook at Orchard Blue Counseling.
Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe, ring the bell, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Doesn't cost you nothing just to like and subscribe. Let's follow the brothers. But okay, here we go, man. We're gonna get back into this week behind a little bit, but we're gonna catch it real fast. Zach Stacy, man, this guy, former NFL player, had a domestic violence thing that was caught on camera. Jamie, can you play the video so people can see it?
Thanks so much for that, Kristen. We do start with that breaking news we told you about at the top. This is from overnight. Former NFL player Zach Stacy waking up in the Orange County jail this morning. This is his new mugshot. Fox 35 was working to learn the details of his arrest. We do know that he's accused of attacking his ex-girlfriend in her home just west of Orlando.
Yeah, the video of the attack is making national headlines, and when you see it, you understand why. We do want to warn you, it's violent and disturbing to watch. Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie is live. She's outside the county jail. Amanda, I know we spoke exclusively with the victim, and she says she wanted to release that video and had good reason to do it.
That's right. So Kristen Evans tells us that she wants this surveillance video to be put out there to the public so that she can help other women in similar situations. She says she is living in fear. Now take a look at this video. It is hard to watch. It's a brutal attack that Kristen Evans tells us made her realize enough was enough. She says Zachary Stacy has been violent throughout their relationship, and this most recent incident where the NFL running back throws her into a wall played out in front of their 5-month-old son.
That's sad as hell, man. Shout out to the strength from this lady. Hope she gets all the care and treatment she needs. This piece of shit dude, hope it gets what coming to him. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I think first of all, we have to really explore this whole CTE thing, because I mean, I know there's certain dudes that are just women beaters, and I have no respect for it, no regard for it. I think it's the lowest form of humanity. With that said, though, I think there may just be more in play. Some of these guys might be just, I mean, they say their brain literally is shaking, being rocked on every play. And I'm, you know, they've done a lot of studies on it. And so I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but to be that young, have that much rage, to put not only a woman in jeopardy like that, but I understand the child was in the room too. There's got to be something else wrong there. There's got to be something else wrong there. And again, there's no winners in this. He needs to be incarcerated and needs to be, you know, mandated to get some type of counseling or something like that. And any woman out there, to me, I got that one and done rule. You know, that's just how I feel about it. You know, somebody put their hands on you, a dude put his hands on you. I don't believe in all that. Try to hope he get better. To me, that's it. That's a deal breaker to me, as one of my friends would say.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good, because I just had a little audio change. Yeah, Kelvin, I agree 100%. He not only assaulted her, like he just continued to do it. You know, the video that I saw, the longer version of the video. I mean, that was a long encounter. He just kept coming back and he just kept beating on her. And she wasn't showing any resistance or fighting back or anything. And he just kept doing it. You know, we're not trying to make up excuses like Calvin said. You know, he could have some brain damage from football. It's a possibility. But, you know, we're not going to use that as an excuse for him to display this type of violence for a woman.
Definitely.
I tell you one thing. I've seen a lot of domestic violence on my old job. And I tell you the thing that used to bug me out all the time, like, I could go to a job and a woman's face would look like hamburger meat, and she still would protect this monster.
Yeah.
You know, and I never could understand that. And they always would say that, hey, it was their fault, you know, why he did that to them. You know what I mean? So domestic violence is definitely some ugly stuff. You know,
Rodney, is it like Stockholm syndrome? Like there's just a certain amount of fear that makes you become a defender of the person that has violated you?
There's a couple of different reasons. Sometimes it's financial. Sometimes that person is the income in the house, and they know if this person gets arrested, then, you know, they got kids with them. They're not working. They're staying home. There's a lot of different reasons. Love is one of them. Sometimes low self-esteem is one of the reasons as well. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. The worst job I ever saw, I went to a house, and like I said, this woman's face was just mauled. Both eyes closed shut. You clearly see the nose was broken, top and bottom lip split, just knots on top of her head. And she had like stab wounds to her hands as defensive wounds.
Defense wounds.
Correct. Wow. Defensive wounds. And you know what was so funny? When we got there, she never called the police. One of the tenants in the house heard all the fighting in there, and they called. And when we got there, she said he had left. But what we figured out really quick is she kept standing over by this door. And then I figured out, I said, he's not. He hasn't left. He's in that room. And sure enough, she was protecting him.
Wow.
I mean, you couldn't recognize this woman normal face the way she was beaten, but she still protected him in that room, guarded that door like it was, making sure that when we were looking around, but he was in there, sure enough.
Wow.
And that's the funny thing about love, man. It's like, you ask 10 people the definition of love, you probably get 10 different answers. You know what I mean? And and there are people out there who, that's how they love, and as demented as it may seem, as sick as it probably is, and definitely as unhealthy as it can be, it takes that form, and that's what it means to them. So I mean, it's insane to me. I'm looking at the situation with Stacey though, and I'm also looking at, and dare I say, the racial implication. You have a black man, adding fuel to the fire, beating up his lily white woman, and never mind that that's his wife, his girlfriend or his child's mother, and never mind that they have their own relationship, but just the optics of it, Lord knows what that's going to mean, to certain segments of society, So I'm kind of looking at it from that angle too. Maybe maybe it doesn't matter in the large scheme of things, but maybe it does, So and I don't know, and maybe that even played a part in it. And I don't know what their relationship was, with the rest of society. What compromises they both have made, or just to be in that relationship, and and maybe they felt pain behind that. So I don't know. So
well, you know what, Derik? I just think it's so irrational that your mind is looking for a why, and it's just not one there. To me, I was taught as a kid, I don't care if the woman cheated on you. I don't care if she stole money, whatever. Then you break out. That's it. You walk away. That's it. And these dudes, when their anger turns to rage, there's some dudes, and guys like this, that they answer conflict with conflict. That's all they know. They don't know how to de-escalate anything. So it doesn't matter when they see red. It doesn't matter if it's a woman, a child, or whatever. There was a story years ago where a guy got in an argument with the mother of his child and threw the baby out the moving car window. So to me, that stuff is demonic. I mean, it's just, I'm just have to say it. There's something wrong there.
Because he was trying to hurt the mother.
Right, there you go. And there's something. And I tell people this all the time, and young women need to understand this. There are a lot of men that hate women. Oh, they don't hate sex. They don't hate whatever. They hate women. And people need to recognize that. I mean, that's major. And that I've never seen it get better. You can identify it as some dudes when they're a teenager, and it doesn't get better. I haven't seen it get better.
Getting back to Derik's point with the white and black thing, I heard that he beat her because she put raisins in his potato salad.
There we go.
Let's focus.
No.
Suspension.
Suspension. Scroll.
Rodney left me. Ryan, you say you want me my man at $5,000, man. Come on, man. I don't like the move for one.
If the scroll don't come right now, then the scroll is never. Then the scroll.
It's a legend.
You're wrong. You're wrong, dude. You're wrong. You're wrong. I want you to tell me who to email right now. I don't complain to myself. I'm ready.
No, but I think he's gonna get more trouble for beating up
Don't
that white
worry.
woman.
They're gonna be knocking on his door tonight.
Beating up that white woman in front of that animal, he really in trouble. that pet was scared. In the other video, you see a pet. But no, but I agree with you guys on the domestic violence. I mean, we have so much trauma in our families that's passed down that we keep bringing it to in relationships and seeing women getting beat before. Daddy might not like it. It's a whole bunch of different reasons.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, years ago, I remember it was around my 25th birthday. I lost a dear family friend, close to him, Charlene Boyd, got murdered because of domestic violence. She tried to do everything proper, and I tell these women, I hope women learn how to, whatever you can do to protect yourself, self-defense classes. She tried to do all the right things. She moved, she put the order of protection in. The dude wanted to find out where she lived at and killed my cousin in broad daylight in the street, shot her and killed her in the broad daylight.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't understand it. I have no mercy for these kind of dudes. I mean, I was making a little like trying to change the mood because, you know, you get into that when you start reflecting. I went to a deep space, so I made a little comedy with that. So
I understand completely. Yeah. It's a very serious subject,
man. It's just like, damn.
I'll be honest with you, I don't have any mercy for it. And I'm dead serious. I don't care if you get Ray and Pookie and all her cousins to come and lump dude up. I don't care. I just don't want to hear it. It's a serious thing. You do not put your hand. I mean, my father stomped me out for me blocking my sister from hitting me, and he opened the door. I was protecting myself, but he's like, I don't care. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And he taught me, he's like, dude, I don't care what, you never put your hand on.
Yeah, that dude. I think she could have done, even if it was raisins in his potato salad. Pick the raisins out. And just
we you know how the car, Rod, you know how the car go into a skid and you regain control. He go hydroplane again.
I'm just saying, like, if she didn't season the chicken, anything like that, just let it go. You know.
Wait, hold on. I just want to know for clarity: are we all gonna be canceled, or it just be like we all?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the unemployment line with Don. What's his name? Cuomo.
Oh man,
it's sad though, man. I'm sorry. That was my story about that, man. It's just
you know what? I have a similar story, D, in the sense that you know, I had a cousin who you know, she was in a domestic violence situation and she lost her life. You know, she was murdered essentially. You know, you know, because you know, sorry sucker he couldn't deal with being broken up with. You know, I don't understand that mentality. You know, there's nothing that you can do. Like, you don't own a person. You know, I don't understand that mentality. There's like, how do you get to a point where someone that you love so much that you can just do that kind of harm to
It's not love, it's obsession. That's the
problem. It is. It's complete obsession, and it's ownership, and it's whatever you want to call it. Yep. But yes, I mean, we if you go to my Facebook page right now, man, not the profile but the banner, you see a picture of me with a lot of my family members, a cousin. She's in that picture. I leave it there since she passed because in honor of her, you know, it was one of the best days of my life. You know, all my family, extended family around, a lot of people that I love were there. And I remember the fun and the love that we shared that day, and that reminds me of my family. It reminds me of her, and it's, you know, it's a picture. She's in there. So, but you know what we, you know, so you know, we all came together around that, and one thing that did wind up happening was and I don't know if it was good, but it wound up becoming an act. So what happened was, you know, we took it to court, and then we got involved with a local politician, and it wound up in enhanced sentencing for domestic violence situations or crimes or whatever, you know. So that's the one good thing that came out of it. Yeah, I mean, that was after the fact. It's nothing that you can't. It's just a shame, man. You can't ever get that person back.
And young ladies need to recognize the signs. You gotta do. You're interested in bring them by every male in your family that you care about. Bring them around that family. Let the family vet them, because I'm telling you, the dudes that want to keep you isolated, don't want you around anybody else, don't want you around your relatives, and stuff like that. You got to bring them around. Let people, because your vantage point is impaired because you are in love or you think you are. Bring them around the people, especially the men in your family. especially the men. And he needs to know, a dude needs to know that there's repercussion, that you got people that have your back. He needs to know that. It's very, very important.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, they show you who they are. If they're extremely controlling, extremely possessive,
right?
He's pretty much hands-on with you. Those are the signals. Get out of that relationship.
That's it. Don't get too deep. That's right. And don't be jumping in a relationship with everybody that fast.
You know, the funny thing is too, I mean, I've talked to women that were in certain situations where guys were pretty hands-on and controlling and possessive and extremely jealous, and they actually thought it was cute. They thought, oh, he loved me, he cared about me, he's giving me a lot of attention.
Right.
No, that's not good attention. That's not the way somebody gives you attention.
Rod, that's a response to the brokenness that was already there.
Correct. Like I told you, sometimes it's an esteem issue too.
There you go. Somebody didn't affirm her. Right. Yeah. And stuff like that. So it's a major thing, man. It's a major thing. All right, we gotta lift this show up because it's painful now. We done came back and made me depressed.
I know. So Jamie, take us to a commercial, man. Our second commercial tonight. We'll come back and we're gonna get this thing pumped up a little bit after a minute.
I'm Dawn Kelly, daughter of Joan Kelly, granddaughter of Margaret Ackerman, and founder and CEO of the Nourish Spot. I'm a native New Yorker, born in Harlem and raised in Queens. The community connects to the Nourish Spot through a number of ways, one of which is through my family's 60 years of long-standing roots in this community. My grandfather purchased the first home in our family here in Jamaica. We connect to the community through our employees. We have a number of young black and brown men and women that mask up and glove up to come to work every day so that we can assemble customized fruits and vegetables into what customers want. And so I'm really happy that we have such a great team, and I thank them every day for their dedication and fortitude. COVID-19 has caused a lot of small businesses like myself to close. And so we're very happy that what we've been able to do is pivot. And so instead of allowing individuals to walk into our store, we have set up a QR code, we've set up a curbside pickup, and we have a heavier reliance on our food delivery service at partners. So in my opinion, resilience means, taking challenges by the horn, if you will, and kind of wrangling them and navigating them in order to continue, in our case, serving the community. The Nourish Spot is all in Queens.
Yo, these are not commercials. These are short films, but I love them.
This is a short, man. For people who know, we try to go take a piss during these commercial breaks and everything. That one right there, you might get a little drop. This is as fast as fuck, Jamie. Yeah. Come on, we gotta get some more people. If y'all got some business, I know Monique was on it. Somebody give us something. We can try to make some commercials for y'all, man. We need some more commercials, man. Try to help our friends and family out, man. But anyhow, man, New York City opens its first two survived drug compensation sites called overdose prevention centers early today. Jamie, can you play the video for that?
Let me show you the area here in East Harlem. The site that we're talking about is right across the street from a school that you see here. And just across the way, there are people waiting outside to get into this clinic.
You can have another chance of killing yourself.
Kelvin Russell is a participant of the nation's first overdose prevention center. In this facility, users bring their own drugs to shoot up while supervised by trained staff with clean needles, medication to reverse an overdose, or the option to get clean.
I get the needles here, clean needles. I get the smoking pipe here. I wash my clothes here. I said caseworker here.
These sites are evidence-based.
Kaylin C. is a senior director running the center, which she says is in response to a drug epidemic.
This is actually a response to what the community has asked for. The community has asked for less public drug use, less discarded syringes, less overdose occurrence, less overdose death, and these sites will accomplish those goals.
More than 2,000 people died of drug overdoses in New York City in 2020, which is the highest over the last 2 decades.
It's been really hard on the staff and the participants over the years to lose so many people unnecessarily. And I just think that we think of them and we remember them when we opened our doors this morning, all of the people who didn't make it.
Manhattan has 2 centers in East Harlem and Washington Heights. The city's health committee chair says this will improve the quality of life in these neighborhoods and reduce public drug use.
I want to first say, quote from Biggie in the movie Scarface, "Never get high on your own supply" was taken literally in this drug treatment program. I'm just saying, man.
You're a rare form tonight.
I'm sorry, man.
You know what? I want to be very, very, very conscious of the fact that I'm not a drug counselor. I'm not an expert in the field. I know a lot of people, like I'm sure we all do, that have drug addiction or have a lot of families that have been destroyed from it. I'll tell you this. I don't know if this model works. I don't know how well it works. I'll say this. I'm for anything that helps people, helps them recover. And that's my hope for people, that they can recover. And people dying in the street, obviously you can't have it. I think the neighborhoods, especially what we've experienced over the last year and a half in New York, is so prevalent. People seeing people shoot up in the streets and things like that. So if there's something that can corral them, it makes me think of that experiment they did in The Wire, when they were actually bringing everybody into one area. I think it was called Havelstadt or something like that.
It's called, oh man, what's that?
Hopperfield or something. I can't remember what it was, but you know, basically
Amsterdam. Because they couldn't say Amsterdam, so they called it Amsterdam.
Oh, okay. Right. Thank you, Derek. I just think, you know, and I actually understand what they're doing, because when you talk to people that have been addicted, they're saying if people are going to do that anyway, give them a place that is safe to do it, where they're not spreading disease and things like that. So I understand it. I don't know enough about it to endorse it, but I just hope people have an opportunity. I think I do think it's good if you can get people into a medical facility, because I think once you get into a medical facility, maybe there could be some chance, like they said, there is an option of recovery. So hopefully that's the thing. But I'm not enough of an expert on the subject of drugs or drug addiction to say whether it's a pro or a con.
Well, one thing I'd say with this segment, like I said, I'm not an expert, like you said too, Kelvin. I don't like the location. I'm about what if the community asks for this thing, I'm cool. I think it should have been if it's going to be someplace, if that community has an area like a commercial space, you know, warehouse, but nothing with children at to see this thing. But like me and Rod go talking, I know what Rod's going to say, so I don't know what you're going to all say, but I know what you're going to say. I'm going to let Rod say it.
You know what I'm going to say.
No, I don't want to steal your thunder. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to steal your thunder on that part. So yeah, I'm about the community. I'm all about what community wants, like sitting on being at community boards and all this other stuff, and being in all these forums and stuff. I'm all about what community wants. I just think like location. I don't know what the Washington Heights location is at. I just know that this one is in Harlem and is directly across the street from school. So go ahead, Rodney. I'm sorry.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say, you know, I'm all for rehab. You know what I'm saying? People have drug addictions, and I'm all for getting people help and getting rehab. I do not agree with this. The reason why, one of the reasons is what D just said. I know that area, and D knows that area as well. It's very close to a school. Mm-hmm. All right. So the thing is, you got basically kids going in school and coming out of school, and they're seeing this every day. So to me, I think they're normalizing it when children see it and make it, they have a place and a safe haven for people to do drugs. So it kind of sends a message to children that it's okay to be on drugs. Another thing, I'm going to say it, that this would only happen in the Black community. In the white community, what they would do is they won't feed the problem. They'll stop the source. So the thing is, you never saw nothing in that clip about them coming in and stopping the drug problem in that area. All they're doing by doing that is making the drug dealer make more money because they're normalizing it. That's what they're doing. So the thing is, like I say, I don't have no. What they should do is they should open a bunch of rehab centers, get people help, and then they should find the source of where the drugs are coming from in that community and stop that. That's what they do. You got to help the people that are on it, and then you got to prevent the problem from growing.
Right.
That's how I see it. I am
provided you want to stop it.
Provided you want to stop it. Now, the other thing, Dee had a point too, that the community did ask for it. But now the thing is too, sometimes the community asks for things that they're not completely knowledgeable about. And sometimes the politicians take advantage of your lack of knowledge of a problem. You know what I'm saying? They're not that educated about it, not realizing they're asking for something that's going to make it worse. And I'll give an example. Like sometimes they'll come to the police department or the community meetings and they say, hey, we want more cops in the area and we want, there's double parking and this and that. Now you're not thinking about what's going to come along with that. So now you got more, they flood the area with more cops. People get stopped, searched, harassed. People get more summonses in that community. And what are the cops going to say? The community asked for it. So they got what they asked for. So you got to kind of look at the game that's being played here. And that's basically what I want to say about that.
Right. You know, I was going to ask you though, but like you mentioned more rehab centers and cutting it off the source. But haven't they already been trying to do that? You know, isn't that more of the same? You know, because it seems like you know, what they're trying is something, you know, completely different, something out of the box, and it maybe in theory it may say, and as you said, maybe in theory it sounds good, and I think it sounds great in theory, but it doesn't seem like just listening to what you say, it doesn't seem like you're necessarily against it. You just kind of in theory you're against the location more than anything. You know?
I'm against what they're doing. I don't open up okay. You saw in that clip, they even had it set up like a crack spot. They're serving them out the window.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. I thought you had to be in the facility.
No, they were out there. You saw the guy that was talking to them.
Oh, wait a minute. They were outside.
See, I didn't know that. I thought you had to.
I thought you had to go inside, but I thought it was so guy in the window. I don't know what that window. We got to look at it. We don't know.
Okay, the thing is
if it's a drive-through, I'm not with that.
What does that image portray? As though they serving them, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, the whole setup is bad, and then you got a white lady there that seems like she's trying to save them, right?
Yeah, the great white
hope, right? And the thing is, it's to me, I see through it because of my experience. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's the answer. You know what I mean? Like I said, I understand that people got on drugs and they should get help. But instead of taking that money and open up centers that's buying them drugs and this, that, why don't you open up rehab centers?
Now the thing, Rodney, I will say this. What they said was, now, when I watched the clip, they said that they have to bring their own drugs.
Right.
First of all, I sound ridiculous even saying that. But
they're enriching the drug dealer who's going to continue to feed the neighborhood drugs.
Oh, God.
It doesn't make, but like
I get your point.
Could that happen if it was there's this place in Illinois, I can't think of the town, where it's been plagued by heroin with white youth. They have a program there where if they get arrested for drugs, right, they go to court and they get an option of either going into rehab for their drug problem and getting their record expunged or going to jail. So most of the kids, young people, take the rehab and they go into a rehab program and their arrest is expunged from their record. Now, this is what's going on in a white neighborhood.
Right.
So do you see the difference here?
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying this is not for this. You're giving them a safe haven. They're bringing their own illegal drugs bought from a drug dealer to be able to shoot up.
I agree with you. I mean, you can't legalize something that's illegal.
And if they OD, I'm going to save you so you can go buy more drugs.
Our producer Jamie told me to say they have a rehab service on site.
Okay.
So, the only thing I want to say is,
okay, let me ask you this.
Right.
You ever heard of a rehab center that you can go to and they're going to give you drugs?
I mean, listen, not me. I mean, saying up with hope,
but that's the whole
down with
point of
dope.
having it. It's so supposed to be different, right?
Like they had the methadone clinics that would give you
right.
like
Something in Archer, baby, or something in
but
Archer.
when you check into a rehab, they ain't giving you no drugs. They're not giving you no dope. They ain't giving you no heroin. They ain't giving you none of that.
Use some methadone.
And you got to admit, the guy that they interviewed, I mean, my man did make it sound like I get to wash my clothes, I get to take drugs. It's a win-win for him. Like,
yeah.
Jamie want to say they give clean needles so they can be safe for HIV and all the other stuff and hepatitis.
You know what we have to do? I think we got to bring a recovering addict.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend that's big in the East Harlem area. I'm curious that you all know her. I'm curious what she would think about this.
And they also give I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, and also give up Narcan. Jamie wants to say the Narcan. I actually have a Narcan thing on my desk in my job, bro.
Keisha says drug dealers are going to prey on the kids.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
Shout out to Nikisha, man.
Yeah,
just like the cigarette industry did, they preyed on the kids because they would be the future of buying cigarettes. It's the same concept.
But Jesse Jackson said, "Up with hope, down with dope." Just say no. I thought that should work.
No, I think it was Nancy Reagan. That was her. Nancy Reagan was
Nancy Reagan just said no. Yeah, but man, I don't know. We go. One time before we move on, I was at a funeral when one of my students got murdered, and the people thought the guy name was Uncle Dope, and they thought it was me. They kept coming up to me and saying, "Uncle Dope." I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This." I swear on everything I love, they kept calling me Uncle Dope. He was really on dope, bro. Uncle Dope was fucked up. I just want to say that. I just had to mention Uncle Dope. Shout out to Uncle Dope. Hope he's alive. Anyhow, a plumber discovers some checks and money inside a bitch ass Joel Osteen, Lakewood Church, or 600K. This fake ass preacher. A plumber. So for people who don't know the story, Joel Osteen, the big time a TV evangelist. He has this mega church. They never helped out people during the Katrina, but that's another subject. A plumber went to go do some work, pulled some towels and some stuff behind the toilet bowl, found $600,000 in checks and cash. Your thoughts? I know they gave the guy $200,000 for finder's fee or some shit like that, but your thoughts, gentlemen? I have nothing to say nice, so I'm gonna just think.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not familiar with the story, but the thing is, the plumber was doing some work there. He found $600,000 behind a toilet. And they gave him a reward.
What's up, brothers? Fuck Joe.
I think. All right. So Rodney, this is what I read.
Okay.
And I think they said, and I believe it may have been 2014 or so, the church was robbed.
Okay.
They said that it was a robbery for $600,000.
It did say that.
Then recently, with this story, a plumber noticed some loose tile. Goes behind there, opens up and finds envelopes with cash in it, finds checks, and finds, I forgot, what was it, a few $100,000 or something like that. He finds, basically, this is the issue. One hand, they're saying the church was robbed. The other hand, they're saying they think they can connect the robbery money and this money. And so the church has acknowledged that this money was found, that it was, and I think that's what it was. I don't think they gave the guy $200,000.
Yeah. No, $20,000. No,
right. Crime Stopper said it was $25,000 reward.
Yeah, and he said statute of limitations expired, so we can't. I don't think they won't pay him. Ain't that a bitch?
So this sounds like an inside job to me.
No question.
That's right. Joe Osteen, something go down, get away money. Knock the wall.
That's what I'm thinking too. That's what
you have to say. It looks bad. It looks bad. Like I don't see any other angle. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't. I've met him before. and I was actually kind of embarrassed because he came in to speak at Yankee Stadium, and they had this like event beforehand where a lot of the ministers in the area came, and I was embarrassed to see, not since Tarzan have I seen this many brothers flock around somebody like this. I could not believe it. I mean, dudes was breaking their neck. I'm talking about some of the biggest, well-known dudes.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
And
Kelvin.
I was like, this is, I mean, it was funny because I'm in there trying to eat the shrimp. He just happened to come up the steps where the shrimp was at and shook my hand. That was it. But I don't like it. And one thing I will not do, I tell people this all the time, I'm not justifying some foolishness.
Yo,
there's a video out now.
I saw that video. I saw it.
You saw that? He said,
yeah.
There's a video out now where the dude asked him on camera, you know you're a piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. A real said that to Joe.
What happened? Joel Osteen was walking, and the guy came over to him with his phone, and they looked like I guess Joel Osteen thought he was going to ready to take a selfie with him, and then he goes, "Look, everybody, it's Joel Osteen," and then he looks over to him. He says, "You know, you're a piece of shit, right?" Wow. And then Joel Osteen laughs and walks off, and then the guy says, "Yeah, he knows. He knows he's a piece of shit."
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, with Joel Osteen, you know, he wouldn't open those doors for Katrina when they had the thing in church, right? So he got bad press for it. Yeah. So I mean, we know what Joel Osteen is about.
And I'm not surprised about the black preachers, because in our churches that subliminal message of having those white Jesus up there every day and thinking everything white is great. That's why I can see the fight. They think he's the greatest thing since sliced cheese.
And I think this is what. And let me tell you, around a lot of liturgical circles, they don't respect. First of all, I've been there before, I've visited before. So it looks like an arena. It doesn't look like a church. It's no crosses in there and things that you would associate. You don't really see much religious regalia. People in liturgical circles feel he's a glorified motivational speaker because he doesn't talk about sin. He doesn't talk about, tells a couple of jokes and tells some motivating stories. Now, don't get me wrong. It works for some people. He has the largest church in the country, and people want to know why, because as far as preaching is concerned, they do not consider him a great preacher. His father was considered a great preacher. His father was a Pentecostal minister. He was the person who ran the audio tapes. And then when his father got on his deathbed, this is the first time he spoke. And then he kind of moved into that role. I mean, it was so ironic. I met a gentleman this week who thinks the man is the greatest person walking. And I've realized this. It's amazing who people resonate with. And what I realize is that when somebody resonates with somebody, you can't sway them off of that. It's almost like certain people listen to certain music, and to them, this is it. This artist resonates with them. I think he's like that. I will say this. I don't think anybody should justify something's wrong. There's no reason that there should be hundreds of thousands of dollars or any money, in a wall somewhere. Yeah. And the place was reportedly robbed. It makes no sense. And I'll say this, for people that have really done this right or tried to do it right, there's no amount of money that's worth it. I'm telling you, when you have to actually go and visit hospitals, and you have to go and see families that have lost relatives and things like that, I don't even know why people would want to play games with this if they are playing games with it. It's not like it becomes people's hustle. In certain situations, it is something that I wouldn't touch. I wouldn't play with. And I'll just say this, and I never get on here being preachy or whatever, because this is not the type of show for that. But there's a passage of scripture that I always think about in Jeremiah 23:1. It says, "Woe be unto the pastors that scatter my sheep." It's very, very important that you do not mislead people, especially in the name of God or religion. It's very, very serious. And if you are doing that, there is definitely going to be a price to be paid for that. And that's something that I would not want to do. It's something I would be scared to do. So that's how I feel about this, but I will not justify something that's wrong. And there's nothing about this that sounds right. It seems very, very deceitful.
Yeah. And I just want to
amen, Kelvin.
Yeah, amen. I want to quote from the Bible too, from the book of Luke.
Wait, Rod. Wait, Rod. He gonna hit the home run now. What did he say?
From the book of Luke. Face down, ass up. That's the way I like to fuck.
I would. You know who I blame? I blame Jeremy because he's not on his job. Jeremy's not on his job. Jamie's not on his job. Jamie's not on his job.
Oh, we
He's
got
not on his job. Oh, there you go. There you go. Need a timeout.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit, man. But next to my man right there, man. Word. But speaking of more face down, ass up, Las Vegas Airlines offers $1,000 tickets for Mile High Club flights. If people don't know what the Mile High Club is for, when you're in the sky, you're $35,000, $50,000 in the sky, you have some kind of sexual relations. I am part of the Mile High Club, and I'll tell you about that one day. With Jamie was there as my God witness, me in the Mile High Club. I'm just saying, this was long time ago. Long time. When you say Jamie and I used to go to Vegas on a regular, that was a long time ago, man. Long time.
So it's basically like what, a pros plane?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so it's a private plane. I think they charge between $900 and $1,500, literally going 1 mile up. You're going 5,280 feet in the air. That's it. You get 45 minutes. And I want everybody to know, I know this because we prep for this stuff. Okay, we don't just roll out. That's how I know this.
You said a long time ago.
Yeah, that's something. No. I just want everybody to be clear on that because I was starting to listen to it. I know too much myself. And so, but it is.
He knew numbers. He knew the.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. I will say this. First of all, I look at a plane for one reason: transportation. That's it. That's all I look for, and I have to do that. That's it. Other than that, I'm not jumping out of one. I'm not going to try to do none of that stuff. Just A to B. But yeah, I just think it's some type of novelty thing that somebody came up with, and I'm like 100% sure that it's gonna work. I'm sure it's gonna work. People just,
It's better. Private playing school is better when people around and you try to sneak. It's a whole different game. That's a long time ago when I was young, dumb, out of control. I had hair back then, so it was a long time ago.
So the whole flight is 45 minutes.
Right. They're just taking you up for that.
So you don't.
And the pilots have
work pretty quickly.
And the pilots have noise. The pilots have noise canceling headphones.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, we just all out there in the aisles and everybody just.
No. It's a private plane and it's set up. It is, in other words, the fuselage is just for you.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's it. So it's a small private plane.
They provide the women, Kelvin, too?
Nah, they ain't go that far. But the thing is,
so you have to bring your own people.
Bring your own.
Right. And and that's how they legally. That's how they can do it. That's how they can do it legally. And what they've encouraged is married people. That's what they were really going after.
They full of
shit. Know what I mean? You know how that goes. It's probably out there for their job to marriage. You know what I mean?
45 is not a lot of time for that.
No, it's not.
But what I'm saying is, I don't get the reason why you have to go up 1,000 feet in the air for that. Like, I don't.
You can rent a room or a suite and do that.
Fly there, land, go to where you going and do that.
But you in the clouds. It's different. You getting close with nature. You in there, God and all that stuff with the person that created you.
It's the experience.
But you're going to be spinning.
Listen. They listen. When you descend, you in some. You going up. You're accelerating, and you trying to accelerate down strokes.
You know what I feel like? I feel like I'm in the preseason. D already in the regular season. He's a step ahead today. I wasn't prepared for this. I can't run. He's a step ahead.
I'm just saying, man.
He in regular season form.
I'm retired from my Howard Club. It was a great venture. My jerseys and the Raptors in there. Best time of my life, bro. JetBlue back in the day. Late flight.
JetBlue at that, D? No.
Nobody was doing JetBlue first started. People didn't fuck with JetBlue. Only me and my man Jamie.
No pun intended.
Me and Jamie used to fly them late flights, man. We used to have then that turbulence used to hit, boy.
First of all, I just want to make for the record, I look at Jamie different. I just want to tell everybody that.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man. Oh man, it was a real conversation going on, man. Deion Sanders brought the chick and Brittany Renner to talk to his students at I forgot what school is down. What's it, Mississippi State? Is it Mississippi State?
Yeah,
Mississippi State, something like that, right? Yeah, no, I don't know. Anyway,
I thought it was Jackson
State. Jackson State. Jamie, can you play the video?
Right?
Yeah, Jackson State. Yeah, somebody in Mississippi. You're right. Jamie, play the video, please.
You guys get in these situations where you have your favorite person or you're in a relationship and y'all want to play. Like, there are repercussions to everything that you do, good, bad, or indifferent. Because there is a cost at telling the truth, but there is an even greater cost when you lie.
That's a good game right there, girl.
So, as a man, you be prepared to stand on principle. So if you want to lie and you want to cheat, you know, just like in my situation, then you got to accept it how it comes. Accept what comes behind it. I feel like a lot of men do cheat because they are afraid of, well, what if I'm being faithful and I'm just a duck and she's cheating or lying on me? But the thing is when you cheat, you're really only cheating yourself out of something real, because the relationship is only going to go as deep as you're able to go with yourself. And so if you're committed, as a man, you gave this woman your word. If you're committed and you don't honor that commitment, then really what are you worth? And where are you going? What are you doing? Because you're wasting your own time. So I don't know if it's just like a hypothetical situation, but I feel like if you're going to cheat on whoever you're with, then just leave. Have some respect for yourself and leave.
So she got, and that was the abbreviated version. She gave some good game to tell like how people are gold diggers and what she does, and the guys jump in the DMs, and young guys gonna be aware. Some of you guys might make it to the NFL. Some of you guys might just be a regular good money accountant. So she gave some good game. Thoughts, gentlemen?
It sounds like she was giving out relationship advice right there.
Yeah, that clip didn't show what the good stuff.
So, I mean, for people that don't know who Brittany Renner is, basically, that I can't think of the young man's name that plays for the Charlotte Hornets, who she has a child with.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Basically, he pays her what $200,000-$300,000 a month for
some crazy
$600,000 a month.
Yeah, $600,000 a month. Now, I'll be honest with you, I commend Deion Sanders for what he did. I think he brought one of the biggest snatch and grab chicks that's basically out there right now.
You call it a snatch and grab, Rod?
Yes, I mean the thing is, she's a businesswoman. No matter how you look at it, she's a businesswoman. That's why he brought her there.
He called it snatch and grab. That's hilarious.
Snatch and grab. Because the thing is, let's face the facts. If you deal with a certain type of guy that makes a certain type of money, that's what you're in for. You're in there for the cash.
Yeah.
So I mean, Brittany Renner's not going to date a guy that's making $60,000 a year. I'm pretty sure she's not. He could be the nicest guy in the world, treat her like gold, never cheat on her, but she ain't gonna date him because he makes $60,000 a year. So she's a businesswoman. So I do think that what Deion Sanders did was good. He brought somebody in, and I'll be honest with you, I give a lot of credit on the other hand too, because she basically came there and exposed how she gets down and how other women get down, and that you got to be careful. But there's going to be gentlemen in that audience that's still not going to listen.
They're gonna jump in her DMs right now. Once they get she can say all that shit, and dudes are still saying "fuck it."
Yeah,
and try. That's the crazy. She knows she got good game.
If he could say 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, that's great. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea on Deion's part. That's what I think.
Yeah, it was smart. What he did reminds me of like when those companies, let's say they want to do cybersecurity. So what do? They hire a hacker.
Correct.
Come in, you know what I mean? So she's essentially a hacker, on that level.
Yeah, great point.
So yeah, she's, so yeah. I mean, it was
again, no pun intended.
But it was, I mean, like, yeah, man, it was a great idea on his behalf. I mean, my first reaction, like I said, was like, you lit the fox in the hen house or something. You know what I mean? But no, it's a smart move on his behalf, and maybe it's an opportunity for her to clean her own image up a little bit too, So yeah, so
you know what, I'm sad for the future. I am. I think there's a culture that has permeated through, especially the internet and our community, that has promoted a lot of this. I think. From my recollection, I think the Kardashians learned how to monetize it first, and they may have done it the biggest. And I just think it's frightening, to watch her sit up there and explain these things, and still actively a person who she's a Venus flytrap. She will still catch somebody out there. I think she's, as Rodney said, that's a business for her, and she's learned how to monetize this. And I just think it's frightening. I don't know where, and I've been watching interviews with her. And she comes from a background of abuse. Just her family. She was raised by her grandparents, and her she was taken from her parents early on, and the grandparents raised her. And her grandparents were her parents were biracial, and so her one side of the family, her mother's side of the family, didn't want her because she was a mixed child and things like that. It's just a lot, man. What I'm saying is, at this point, I'm hoping that they're as families are raising their daughters and their sons, that they're trying to rebuild the community, because this is bad. This really is bad. I mean, people don't think about the children. You're somebody's mother who's going to grow up and watch why they were conceived and how they were conceived and things like that. And I just say there's no shame anymore. There's no lines to be crossed. I was thinking about this one day. There's not a story that could come out on the news that would surprise you.
That's true.
Think about it. There's not one thing that you could see on the news on this planet that would surprise you. The only thing that would surprise you is that part of the news where they say, we're going to tell you a feel-good story. Oh, somebody found money and gave it back. Oh, those are the things that surprise you. But a mother killing her children, or somebody beating their wife, or a teacher having sex with a teenager, none of that stuff surprises you. It is all normal now. And that's the frightening part.
And then to give the money back story, you're going to condemn that because you're going to say, oh, he's so stupid.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, those are things that, I think it was good for Dion, because he's really trying to build a program there. And those young men should be appreciative of having not only a Super Bowl winner, but the greatest safety or corner in history, the greatest corner in history. And so, but I think it's good. And I mean, as you raise, I know all of you are raising sons. I raised and helped raise my nephew, and you just try to get them prepared. You try to send them out there with a game plan to let them know what's out there, because it's out there. There's something out there, and it's so hard. You just hope when they get in that moment that all the lessons that you taught for years will just resonate. You know what I mean? And I think it does when you build a foundation like that, because I listened to this young lady, and that's frightening. I watched the interview. She's like, she slept with 30 guys, and she was being conservative. I think she even mentioned that with that number. You know what I mean? But she looks at sex like it's currency. She looks at sex like it's leverage.
And she might be fucking out of survival. When you tell me the backstory, it might be fucking out of survival. Like, let me get all this money because I want to make sure I have it, because I grew up fucked up, and I'm gonna get everything I can get. Like survival. Like, I'm a fuck, and I know I can do this. I'll get some money, stack as much as I can, because I'm scared to be broke again. As you said, she moved from raised by her grandparents and also probably never feeling wanted. If her father was black, seemed like she only fucks these black dudes. So she probably like, I want to feel wanted by these black men, and I know sexually this make me feel wanted. I don't know. It could be a lot of stuff in there. A lot of trauma could be.
Could you bring that comment back up, Jamie, that Tim brought up?
Yeah, it says the reality is a lot of these athletes are corny. Chicks know it, and they think the chicks like them, but it's about money. Yeah, I mean, it's not
Big
hard
point.
to.
Good point.
It's excellent
Word
point.
up.
It's not hard to tell. These people are used to people glad handing them and being the center of attention. So it's easy to get their heads boosted up. They're halfway there. So.
And it's not only athletes. I mean, men with money,
correct?
Men with unlimited resources. That's one of the spoils. I mean, that's just one of the things. That's why a lot of dudes went into entertainment. You know what I mean? They're trying to leverage that. So what happened was, then you had a generation of women that kind of grew up watching Instagram and all that stuff like that. I mean, think about it. I was discussing with Rodney back in the day. We'd see stuff like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and that was stuff that looked untouchable. Now somebody 22 years old rapping has all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With no good mentor, anyhow.
You got your first car is a Bentley. I mean, all that stuff like that, so there's a culture of women out there that's like, listen, I forgot who it was. I think it was a female rapper back in the day. She was like, a dude with money, I mean, the first thing you need to do is just take it. You are whack if you don't try to get it from him.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you remember one time, and I know you're about to move on, D, just one time there was I think this was like in the mid 2000s, a woman was taking her used underwear and leaving her scent in it, and dudes was buying it.
God damn, who's that? Erykah Badu?
How about the Erykah Badu?
They was literally monetizing a woman's
Erykah
underwear that
Badu
was
just did that with incense. She sold her pussy juice incense or whatever it's called, vagina juice. What am I saying wrong?
All right, give me the scroll just for being associated with these. Give me.
What's it called?
No, that's not what I was talking about.
You talking about right?
No, that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about the spell that Erykah Badu be putting on dudes.
Oh, but no, she does have incense. Look it up.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Everybody, look it up. I'm not making this. I'm not making this up.
No, but the crazy thing is, there's somebody that's going to buy it. Like there's somebody. There's some dude.
She sold out of the shit.
Yeah,
it's candles and all that stuff. She sold out of it. She ain't playing no games. Erykah Badu got that wicked shit, man. I'm scared. When she sing, I close my eyes. I don't want to fucking look at Erykah Badu.
Don't look at directly in the eyes when you see.
Oh hell no, them hazel eyes fuck you up, man. But anyhow, man, we gotta move on. My man Jamie's over here hitting us up, man. We gonna move watching the Chop It Up early tonight, man. So here we go. King Richard, HBO Max is on. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's about Will Smith plays the Richard what's his name again? Richard Williams. The father of Serena and Venus Williams. How he coached them and their backstory, how they became who they are now today. That we know them two mega superstars. Gentlemen, did anybody else see this besides myself? And what
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah. I saw it as well. I
thought it was excellent. I would like you guys to tell me what you thought, what scene stood out to you the most if you had to just pick one. Good or bad?
I don't know. I couldn't get past the shorts, but
the thing that stood out to me, I didn't know that Richard used to go to the park and get his ass whipped so much.
You know, it's so funny. It's so funny that you say that. I think it is devastating for girls to watch their father get beat.
Correct. I thought that was devastating.
That was the scene I thought about it. It really bothered me. And the thing, it was normalized when they were like, Dad got beat up again.
Yeah. I think I know what scene you're talking about, Kelvin. The scene. Kelvin. I said that. When he was going, I don't want to tell a story, but he was going to get revenge, and
pull
then
out the hammer.
Correct. Revenge wound up happening another way.
Yeah.
If he had carried it out, it probably would have changed everything.
Hold the director of life, his whole family would have been changed.
We would have never known.
Never heard him.
Yeah, right. It would never happen.
You know, the thing that really gets me is, and people don't, for every story like this, there are probably hundreds of thousands that go the other way. For you to literally have no experience intended, get these two little girls to come from where they come. Right, exactly. And you got to give him credit. You got to give Lonzo Ball father credit for that, because Lonzo Ball to me don't have it. But what I'm saying is the fact that some of these, you know, you can go to Joe Jackson, you can go to people, you know, and his kids actually had talent. But what I'm saying is, for you to actually, you have to invest in it. The kids can't invest it by themselves. These parents are taking a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And that was and the stuff that he was doing, he literally took VHS tapes and marketed himself to the people, goes down the, you know, I don't want to tell a movie, but I'm saying, like, he gets to a place and he's not even letting the girls play.
And that's the funny thing, Kelvin. It's the vision. You have to have that, and you have to have that vision. Like there's no option other than success. I love when he went in. I'm not gonna tell the story, right? But at one point, he's basically telling to the point he's telling this big time
trainer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, how he's, you know, telling them how he wants the girls to learn, you know,
right?
And just the cojones, man, and just the, you know, just the vision there, and the strength and conviction. It speaks volumes to me in terms of, like, you know what he had envisioned and where he was really trying to take it, man. You know,
no question.
Got to get all his kudos for that.
No question.
For Monique's comment, right? He got them to give him more than a job. He did an excellent deal. Yeah. He got a house. He got a paycheck. They got a car. I mean,
a mobile home.
Yeah, he got a mobile home. I mean, he negotiated an amazing deal. That was an amazing deal.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, and a lot of people, like my nephew was talking about it today. A lot of people don't remember. Venus came out the gate. Serena couldn't touch it at first. Venus was the truth. Yeah. And I remember one night I was in JFK. I was working in JFK. One night I was in Terminal 4, and this is like probably late after 10 o'clock at night. Nobody's in the terminal, and I see Venus and her father walking. That girl got to be 6'1".
Yeah,
I saw her and her father walking. I saw her and her father walking, and now looking at that, the journey is just amazing. Just the two of them walking with a heart. And he's walking with her.
You remember what the father said when Venus Williams was tearing through the league? He said, you ain't seen nothing. He says, wait till Serena comes.
Yep. Right.
Serena's way better than Venus. Right. And no one believed that except him.
Right.
And she came there and put the game in a chokehold.
Right. And I also thought it was cool when he was very, very conscious of them being humble at first.
Yeah. Serena had more fire than Venus.
Mm-hmm.
She was more of a competitor. She was more hungry.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Losing was not an option with Serena. And the thing is, too, if you watch the movie, it was designed with what he was doing intentionally. He was putting Venus in the front to motivate Serena.
Yeah.
To be able to say, I'm going to come back. I'm going to see this. I want to be here. I want to compete. And I'm actually even going to be better than my sister. It was designed that way. It was ingenious what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I love the movie. I thought it was excellent. I thought the girl that played Venus, I thought she did a great job.
Nailed it. Both the girls. Yeah.
Hopefully it's going to be a part 2.
Hopefully.
Because they got to show Serena coming up. And our friend to our show, Chicken Wing, was very cool with the father. He used to go to all the matches, all kind of stuff.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. You might have the next Michael Jordan. No, bro, man. I got me the next 2.
Yeah. And the only thing, a lot of people were shocked that they didn't know that he had another family. And I know one of his kids spoke out on stuff like that.
He got a lot of kids.
He got a lot of kids. I mean, I'm thinking, how you get a lot of kids? This man wore shorts all year round, real shorts. Back in the day, remember, his teeth were fucked up. Yeah. But he got a lot of kids.
There was a lot of those children before Venus and Serena.
I know.
And in response to the daughters that's saying that, and I don't take anything away from somebody who didn't grow up with their father, because that's not my experience, and I'm glad it's not. I'll say this: that's not what this story is about, though.
No, that's not what it's about.
And they were really going after Will Smith, talking about how dare he, and he should be called King Richard, or whatever like that.
These white liberals, boy.
They brought it up, and when him and the wife were arguing, they brought it up. They talked about it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But they were going after Will Smith. Will Smith is just playing a character. I mean,
But the thing is, none of us are perfect.
Nobody.
The thing you got to focus on is how he made his daughters so successful.
Right.
In a game that you never see us. I think the last successful person was like Arthur Ashe, right?
And let me tell you something. These kids coming.
Anik Noah, I can't remember.
Him.
Let me tell you something. These young ladies that's coming up today, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of them have the talent and stuff, but not dealing with the media and all the mental whatever. These girls, he made these girls tough.
Yeah,
these girls were tough. They were prepared well.
It's another show on here, man. True Stories, Netflix. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, yeah, that's right. And this was this. Oh, I think Rod.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, Derik.
I saw it.
I saw
the other light skin guy.
I know really light skin motherfuckers saw that shit. Yo, piss color motherfuckers.
I saw it. D, you ought to write for Hallmark. You have a way with words.
Yeah.
I did see it. I see. Derik, what was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a revelation for me and Kevin Hart. I really thought he nailed it. He did.
Yeah, we talking about Kevin Hart. He did good.
Kevin Hart.
I've never seen one movie I like with Kevin Hart.
Well, you haven't seen this one either. So I think he did a great job. And of course, Wesley Snipes, just to see him on the screen delivering, working again. And he did his thing, man. He's a master. He's a genius at his craft as well. I believed him, man. I believed his character. I felt like I connected with both of them. And
Kevin Hart.
I can see it. I'm telling you, he made it.
I can't bring myself to watch it.
Really great for him. I think you know what it is, because I think it didn't take him far away from himself. I think it was I felt like he was almost emoting on the screen. Like he was really digging from within himself.
Was he running around being loud, the typical Kevin Hart?
But that's the act. You know what I'm saying? But the actual life is what he was describing, the things he was going through himself. So it was kind of a window into what he thought of. You know,
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something.
You know?
I think it's gonna kind of sound foul. I think Kevin Hart's a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
I've always thought that. And I'll be honest with you. I think Kevin Hart is positioning himself up for his next career. I think it'll be behind the camera, because I think the stand-up I think is finally waned. I think Dave Chappelle's put the bar so high. I just don't think a lot of the some of the shtick people have been using is going to work anymore. I think Kevin's last 3 specials weren't good, and I like Kevin Hart, but I think the last 3 specials wasn't good. And so I think he's going to position himself to kind of be behind the camera. I think this was I thought this was interesting. I think Wesley Snipes is a great actor.
All right, Norette said, I'm gonna give it a try because Norette said, not because you, Derek, because Norette.
Okay, no, but listen, you guys gotta read that so people that listen can. This is the thing. I think what it is this. I think Snipes is obviously excellent at what he does, and I think it was clear that he outacted Kevin.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Of course,
but I think the script was interesting. I do think it was interesting, but I do think Kevin Hart pretty much has he's probably on that 14th minute, I think.
Far from it. Remember, you said this today, man. 5 years from now, man, that boy ain't going nowhere. Let me tell you something.
No, white people love him. White people love a silly, loud black dude.
But here's the thing, though. He's not being silly or loud.
They love his comedy. They love a little. They love a.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
No, but no, only in this movie he's not. They love a character. That's why they love him.
Do you know what separates? To me, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I think separates a lot of leading men. You know what separates the Lorenz Tate from the Denzels and all of them. You know what I think separates some of them? Height.
Yeah.
I think height plays a factor. I really do. I think if Lorenz Tate was taller, I think he'd have been more of a leading man in things. Kevin Hart is very, very small. And when I see him on screen, I see Kevin Hart. I'm just being honest with you. When I see him on screen, I see Kevin Hart. I don't see like with Eddie Murphy with the clumps or whatever. For instance, I don't think Chappelle is a great actor. I don't think Chris Rock is a great actor. I don't think they've done great movies necessarily.
I agree.
Eddie is like really.
Oh, here goes the family shit. Here goes the family shit.
No. I'm just saying. Like, in other words, what I'm saying is what Derik is saying is he finally got a role that had a little depth to it. But I think I think it's still somewhere in the 3-foot range.
That's fine.
But it was good though. I don't want to throw cold water on. I think it was good though, Derek.
I'm not saying he's gonna be De Niro or anybody else coming up later, but this lane, this level, what he did, he delivered. You know what I mean? And
he's Gary Coleman. He's not De Niro. He's Gary Coleman.
Kevin, you're so
Monique
right.
is funny.
Like a man. Yeah.
No, there's truth to height. There's truth to height.
Yeah. Let me go to Jamie. Jamie said move on. I love this right here. It's called You're Watching Video Music Box. It's on Showtime for all of us old school heads. This is a documentary on Video Music Box produced by Nas, the rapper Nas Escobar. Your thoughts? If anybody saw it, I thought this was wonderful. Brought me back. I forgot about some of these interviews they had and music. This really propelled hip hop music, and a lot of underground rappers never would have got their music played on MTV. Ralph McDaniel's Uncle Ralph was groundbreaking. This dude was a visionary person that really put hip hop on the match. I don't care. He should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's how dope which one Uncle Ralph was, man. Seriously. You thought anybody saw this?
No,
I haven't seen it.
It's a phenomenon.
I saw it. The one word I could describe it with, it was dope.
Dope.
It was dope. The thing is, the memories, is like they said, the memories that it brought back, and they were right. I remember racing home and going for exactly. If you was a Video Music Box fan and you wasn't dancing to that music when it came on, something was wrong.
5 minutes of
fun. That's right.
And go to those channels with the static in it, the UHF
channels. Yeah. I mean, it was groundbreaking. It propelled hip hop tremendously. It played a role. It played a role in hip hop growing. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, one thing I didn't think about back then that I saw in the documentary now is how MTV took what they had. They wouldn't let them come on and do it, but they went and did it themselves.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But it definitely brought back a lot of memories. The documentary was definitely dope. Definitely dope.
I haven't seen it yet, but
and that's VH1's model. I mean, when 106 in Park started beating Total Request Live, Viacom went and bought, BET.
But people get to check. I know we're looking at the clock.
If you can't beat them, buy them.
And the last one on Watch It or Chop It is the movie Bruise with starring Halle Berry on Netflix. I think it came out last week. People, I'm not sure if I'm correct. Anybody see? I didn't see this.
I saw it, and I think Rodney disagreed with me. I think it's Halle Berry's best work in over 10 years.
I don't know if we saw the same movie, Kelvin.
I think what we did was we didn't contextualize it, because you look back over the last 10 years, and I went and took a look back. Kidnapped, 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Call, 2013, 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Dark Tide, which I never even heard of, in 2012, 2 out of 5 stars, was a low budget film. 2 people saw it, 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, you tell me the movie. We're not talking about Swordfish. We're not talking about Monsters Ball in 2001 and 2004.
She was in that movie with homeboy Keanu Reeves. What's the one she's shooting everybody?
Yeah, I saw that too. But what I'm saying is,
what's that called? Shit.
See, my point exactly. So what I'm saying is,
Jamie gonna say Catwoman. Nobody watched that shit.
No,
right, Catwoman. Minus 10 people saw that. They was arresting people. Like, you either go to jail or you watch Catwoman. So what I'm saying is, Rodney, tell me what she did in the last 10 years that was better performance than this. First, let me say this, Rob, before I go further. She acts on a screen with a child who has no dialogue. Then she had to have a lesbian love scene with a woman who looked like the Kim Combo.
We didn't see it yet.
Yeah, man. You just throwing off kinds of
spoilers
out there.
The reason why I don't think this was a great performance or a great look for Halle Berry is Halle Berry played an MMA fighter, and she's 55 years old. Okay. Now, I don't know if you noticed. Now, I'm not saying that Halle Berry is a bad actress. She's not. But it was a bad choice of the roles that I'm talking about. She was in a 0-star cast. She was the only star in the whole movie. Everybody else in the movie you never seen in your life.
Her Young M.A. is in it. Young M.A. in it?
No.
Her music is in it.
Music.
No. Basically, Halle Berry controlled everything. She directed it. I think she executive produced it. So to me, I have no problem with anybody getting a check, but to see a 55-year-old Halle Berry play an MMA fighter, and if you watch John Wick, that's what it is. Yeah. Play a MMA fighter, and if you notice and you watch the fight scenes, Halle Berry was moving slower than molasses. She's 55 years old. Now, don't get me wrong; she was in great shape. She still looks great. You know what I'm saying? But I think the role was a bad look for Halle Berry at that age. And
now I got you, but we're talking 2 different things. I'm talking about, what I'm asking you is as far as the depth. I'm talking about as far as her acting chops.
I still say no. I still say because of the role, she couldn't deliver that role.
But Rod, you're talking about athletically. I'm talking about take her out of the ring, because the ring, she spent a lot of time in the ring. So take her out of the ring.
I'm going to tell you right now. Halle Berry is an attractive woman, and she's trying to play a tough MMA fighter. It didn't look right to me. That's my point. And I just thought it was a bad pick for the role. Now, like I said, I'm happy to see Halle Berry getting a paper. You know what I'm saying? Happy to see her still acting and everything. And I still don't think she's a bad actor. I just think it was a bad role.
So do you think it was like Diane Carroll, Claudine?
Damn, I ain't seen that shit in years.
Well, people just thought Diane Carroll was too glamorous to play some woman on welfare.
She killed it in Claudine, bro.
No.
But do you remember that? Do you remember that was the big issue, that people didn't think they want somebody to look like Florida Evans in that role?
If that's the issue you're talking about, no, I think she did a good job in that movie in Claudine. I think she did.
Of course,
no. Right, she did a good job, but I'm saying, in other words, you may have looked at Halle Berry like, okay, first of all, the age thing, you felt she's too old, which I think they try to play into the storyline a little bit.
Yeah, she definitely dominated the movie. I would have wanted to see some better acting in it, but she was the only real actor in the movie.
Great job.
Melvin disagrees. Your family
Well,
disagrees.
that's fine. I'm just telling you how I see it. Everybody got an
No,
opinion.
I think Rod is doing stuff technically. I think that's what he's doing. I think it's a technical thing. I don't think, because I get what he's saying philosophically. I'm just saying, to me, I haven't seen one Halle. Long story short, Halle's done a lot of bad movies. This one I actually sat and watched, and I thought because she can act, but somewhere along the line she got the Oscar curse or something, because she's made a lot of trash movies. She has. So this movie, it looked believable. The desperation, the whatever. That's what I was saying. Catwoman and all that stuff like that is just like an after school special. It just wasn't there.
Nah, we wanted to have sex with Halle because of the Catwoman outfit. We didn't really care about the movie.
And she even admitted that was the thing people wanted. You know.
Rodney, I'm going to see that movie because you was on point with the chicken thighs. That's what's up on
right? Oh, but my point is,
hilarious.
Would you get Denzel Washington at his age to play the Black Panther? You wouldn't do it.
No. So, but Rod, again, you're doing a casting thing. I'm talking about the person that.
But no, casting makes things seem more real.
You gotta understand, Kelvin. The roles make the actor either look good or bad. You gotta fit that role. I didn't think I thought that role was not a good role for her to pick and be executive producer and direct it. She should have picked a role playing maybe someone of the age of 55. Not an image.
I can't knock that. I can't knock that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of,
here we go, Kelvin. You have to remember that Halle didn't get the Oscar for her acting in Monsters Ball.
You didn't marry me for my cooking. Now, speaking
of old chicks that might,
I agree with that too.
Speaking of old chicks that might need to retire from certain professions, here's a hooker that's about to retire in Nevada.
Good Lord,
Jesus!
They're getting nuts.
Patrice, how many years? I forgot how many years she was fucking for. A lot of years. She's 70-some years old, 76 years old, about to retire from having sex and all that stuff.
She could have been in there with Halle. Could have been a co-star.
And I would not take her up in the Mile High clubs because she looks like she's about to go to heaven.
No, she got more miles on her than a 57 Buick.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I know why she retired. I know why she retired. Why? Because the customers was complaining and saying it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. You couldn't hit no. So, because she
Jamie.
No.
D, you got nerve, D. You got nerve.
No, I'm not going for that.
Oh man.
Nah, that's what they were saying. They said it's like throwing hot dogs on the hallway. Yeah.
I heard she got rid of her. They told her that she got to stop because the men.
I'm gonna tell you something, and let me say something. I have to admit, there's certain things that it's a double standard. It disturbs me that certain when I see women that just don't have no, because we used to think women was the last line of defense as far as the body is concerned. It's a different day, and she was the pioneer. She was out before strip clubs was out. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. I mean, this is all alleged while she retired. Dudes got tired of slipping her depends to the side to try to get in there.
Okay. All right. Take me out the studio. I can't take no more. My nerves are shot. Now I'm not gonna be able to unhear that for the rest of my life. Do me a favor. Give me that number to the counseling commercial we ran. I gotta get a session.
I'm just saying, she was leaving a teeth on the side of the nightstand. Dudes are getting upset.
Oh shit! I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
You know what I want to know? Let me tell you something. As a person who has done probably 50 eulogies or better in my life, I just want to hear it. I just want to hear what they say. I want to read the obituary and I want to hear the eulogy.
They're gonna say she kept a lot of men happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She had great hands.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, they said they gonna say she was a ride or die.
No, they say she is a ride and die.
Ride and die. You know what I'm saying? Right up. She put her head on a lot of things.
I'm gonna just say this right now, everybody out there. I just want to apologize. I don't know for what, but I just say I owe you one. I just
Nah, man. With that said, it was a lot of fun tonight, man. Welcome back, brothers, man. I had a blast with you guys, man. I love you all, man. I love everybody checking in. Monique, Tim, Melvin, Damien, Norette, whoever else was watching. Nakisha, we love you all, man. Thanks for coming out with us for checking out on a Wednesday night. We love you, Peace, peace, and peace. Ooh.